Most women struggle with becoming God's creatures. Most men struggle with giving up the power and submitting to the Lord. And even a handful of Christian men that claim to be Christian rarely submit to the loves of their lives. They are told they are the leaders of their households. Well, how did you gain that leadership? Did you take it forcefully? Did you require it and demand it? Or did you earn it with God's counsel and God's help? You see, when you don't do things correctly, it's obvious to the world. But when you think you're in charge of someone's profession, when you think you understand someone's career, when you think you get what they do for a living, my guess is you don't have a fucking clue what you're doing. And my other thought is you probably have lied to yourself too. You see, what you do for a living is what you do for a living in your industry and in your choice on your steps towards your career, which takes you to where? Where does your career steps take you? Did you think about that when you started? Your career steps take you to retirement. And if you didn't keep that in mind as you're climbing that set of stair steps towards retirement, then you haven't figured it out. Now, what they say is you got to have $1 million in the bank to retire. So for someone who goes off and does amazing things in Hollywood, in the movies, or some pro basketball player or some musician, they probably are okay if they choose to live within modesty and humility of saving money so that they have money for their retirement. Now, people who make millions and billions and millions and millions and billions of dollars, they live high in the hog. I mean, take a look at people on radio. A radio host of a show might make $10 million a year, whereas his sidekicks only make $1 million. Now, maybe that's because she says a hell of a lot less. Maybe that's because it's not her brand name. Maybe it's because she doesn't do half the work. I don't know. But what I'm talking about is the reality of life. That if you didn't come into this world with supercalifragistic type of, apologize for the mispronunciation, type of unique talents and skills that make you that $1 million right out of high school or college, I apologize to you. But does it make sense that I apologize to you, given the fact that God is the one that blesses you with your talents and breathes into the soul of the child what their soul is going to be, regardless of what happens in the human body over the time of aging from the zero time of its birth into adulthood and senior citizenry. Now, the value of understanding life is that life is hard. It is supposed to be a challenge, and it is also something that we earn.